Hello, in this video we will be testing new Battle Pass bow, Scion of Blazing Sun. First we will test how this weapon works, and then we'll put this weapon in 4-round competition. Is Scion of Blazing Sun is better than Slingshot on Tighnari? Let's find out. New Battle Pass weapons. Some of them are universally good, some of them are weird, some of them are questionable. And today we will talk about one of them, new Battle Pass bow, Scion of Blazing Sun. And to be honest, I'm very skeptical about this weapon. But today we will test it, and maybe by the end of the video I will change my mind. And to understand why I'm skeptical about this weapon, we need to understand how this weapon works. And let's keep it simple. When we are using our charger, debuff applied to the enemy. So here we are using Sligshot and we've done 8200 and 132 physical damage. This is our debuff. And our next Sligshot will have 28% increased damage. And our next Sligshot will deal 9000. Pretty nice damage increase, but this comes with 3 problems. First, it's debuff, not the buff. Second, the radius of this thing is very small. And last, it has 10 seconds cooldown. And because of this, when we are fighting large group of enemies or we are fighting waves of enemies, debuff wouldn't apply to all of them, and our passive will be mostly useless. Yes, this weapon is efficient only in single target scenarios, as example when we are fighting bosses. Another thing that I want to mention is the base stats of this weapon. This weapon has high base attack 565 and low crit rate 18%. And previously I would say this is a good thing, but right now we're getting more and more characters that prefer defense stats than attack. And yes, Tighnari is one of them. It would be a lot better if this weapon has lower base attack and higher crit rate. But we have what we have, and right now this weapon tied to the character that has good attack scaling. And yes, that's the reason why I'm skeptical about this weapon. And I think this weapon could be a lot better if they change couple of things. Right now we have debuff effect, and if they change this through the buff effect, this weapon could work in multiple target scenarios. Will this make this weapon too broken? No, definitely not, because this weapon would deal the same amount of damage. This only will make this weapon more universal and versatile, and that's what you're expecting from the Battle Pass weapon. Another change that they could make, if they want to keep this weapon as a single target, at least give us not only charge attack but normal attacks too, like we have on Hamayumi right now. And again, would this change will make this weapon too broken? No, this change will make this weapon only more universal. And characters like Yoimi could have been using this weapon. But as we know, Hoiverse made balance change only once. And unfortunately, this weapon will stay the same by the end of the game. Luckily, Tighnari can use this weapon. He is played with charge attacks, he is good against single targets. Yes, he is preferring elemental mastery more than attack, but anyways, his attack scalings are pretty decent, 139 for the charge shot, so I would say he is a decent user for this weapon. And to understand if Scion of Blazing Sun is worth it for Tighnari, we need to compare this weapon to the other one. And because my Scion is only refinement 1, we will compare this to the free-to-play variant. Slingshot and these weapons are pretty similar, both crit rate weapons that increasing charge attack damage. And if we compare them, Scion has a lot more base attack, but Slingshot has a lot more crit rate. And I mean a lot, almost 13% crit rate is not a joke. And now for the passive, even though Scion has only 28% damage increase, this increase will affect our cluster shot arrows that follows our normal charge attack. With the Slingshot on the other hand, we'll have 16% damage increase for only our initial shot. Our cluster shot arrows will have 10% decreased damage. So right now we don't have clear winner here, but don't worry, we will have 4 rounds. First, base reaction damage. Second, free-to-play team, third, best Tighnari team, and fourth, multiple target scenario. And in the end, we will understand everything. Alright, let's quickly look at my Tighnari's build. For artifacts, I'm using full Wanderer's Troop. He is Constellation 0 with talent H, H, and H. At stats we will look a little bit later because stats would be different with different weapons. Base reaction damage. And first we will test just Tighnari spread damage. Fischl is here only for Electra application and doesn't have any buffs, so we'll see how much Tighnari will be doing without buffs from other teammates. And first we will start with Scion of Blazing Sun. With Scion of Blazing Sun I'm using Elemental Mastery Sense with 9, almost 10% crit rate. And starts with Scion looking like this: 14,500 attack, 287 Elemental Mastery, 60-175 crit ratio. And let's see how much damage we'll be doing. Applying Erector, Tighnari skill, first charge shot 16k, second HT, and last HT. And burst 12k spreads. That was a lot of numbers, and right now probably you don't understand anything. But don't worry, we will calculate everything. And now we are moving for the Slingshot. And because Slingshot has a lot more crit rate, we are changing our Elemental Mastery crit rate sense for Elemental Mastery with crit damage to balance our stats. As with Slingshot, our stats looking like this: 11,500 attack, the same amount of Elemental Mastery, and 63,197 crit ratio. And let's see how much damage we'll be doing. Applying Electra, Tighnari skill, first charge of 21,000, second 21, and third 21 too. And for the burst, we're doing 12,000 spreads, and right now looking like Slingshot winning. But let's calculate everything together. With Scion, first shot made 40,000 damage. With Sling, a little bit more. Total damage for free swords with Scion 124. For Sling 121. Burst made 78k with Scion and 73k with Sling. Total damage for Scion 202,000. And 195k for the Slingshot. Yes, Scion won. And even though it's looking like Slingshot has more DPS, but it's only because officials bug. I will make video about this bug later, but right now we need to go further. Round 2, free to play team. And now we are moving to the full team showcase, and first we'll start with the free-to-play Tighnari. I love to play Tighnari with double Dendra, double Electra, because both of resonances are good. Electro Resonance will help us with energy management, and Dendro Resonance will buff our Elemental Mastery, which is really important for Tighnari. For the teammates, I like to use Tighnari with Fischl, Yao Yao, and Lisa. Fischl is built as a full sub DPS, for the weapon she is using Stringless, and artifact set full Golden Troop. And Lisa is built as a sub DPS too. For the weapon she's using Oswald Eye, artifacts full emblem set, but she has some supportive capabilities, because she can decrease defense of the enemies by 15%. And main supportive asset here is Yao Yao, because she is using Deepwood memory set, and this is most important debuff for Tighnari. But anyways, she is built as a sub DPS too. For the weapon I'm using Kita in Crossspear, and if you have C1 Yao Yao, she can increase our Dendra damage by 15%. And now let's add performance. Yao Yao skill, Fischl skill, Lisa couple of normals, Lisa's burst, Tighnari skill, Tighnari's burst. Can't see any damage right now, unfortunately. First charge 24,000, second 26, and third charge 26 damage. Let's quickly finish him with half of the rotation. So Fischl, Yao Yao, Tighnari skill, and couple of charge attack would be enough. That was a lot of numbers, but as you can see, our charge shot damage increased by 10,000. And now we are moving for the Slingshot. As you can see, we have 0 attack percentage buffs in this team. And because Slingshot has a lot less base attack, it's benefiting from Elemental Mastery buffs more than Refinement 1 Scion. So maybe this will give advantage to the Slingshot, and this weapon will take this round. So let's see. Using Yao Yao skill, Fischl skill, Lisa's burst, Tighnari skill, Tighnari's burst, some 70k spreads, Tighnari charge of 20,000, another 20,000, and another 20,000. So let's quickly finish him. Yao Yao Fischl, Tighnari skill, and couple of charge shot would be enough. And this time Slingshot made 30,000 with initial hit. But would this be enough? Let's calculate everything together. And with Scion, burst made 107 in total, with Slingshot 103. First charge shot with Scion 55,000, with Slingshot 58,000. All three charge shots with Scion 171,000, and with Slingshot 175,000. Total damage for Scion 278,000, and for Slingshot 279. And yes, Slingshot is the winner here. Yes, the difference is very small, but you know, the win is the win. But we are moving further. Round 3. Perfect Tighnari's team. And now we are moving for the best team that we have on my account. Here we have Yeimika, Nahida and Zhongli. Yeimika built as a full sub DPS with her signature weapon and Golden Troop artifact set. Nahida here is the main buffing asset. For the weapon she is using her signature weapon, for artifacts of course she is using Deepwood memories. And my Nahida is Constellation 2 and can decrease defense of our enemies. And of course she will provide 250 elemental mastery buff for Tighnari. And on top of that she is a Dendro Resonance activator. Zhongli is here as defensive unit. He will decrease slender resistance of the enemies, and he is using full tenacity of melee set for 20% attack buff. And now let's add big numbers, starting with Zhongli Shield, Nahida's skill, Nahida's burst, Yemika placing totems, Tighnari's skill, Tighnari's burst, first charge shot 35k, second 39, and boss is done. But anyways, we still can calculate damage per rotation, and I think this would be a lot. And now we are moving for the Slingshot. And again, we don't have a lot of attack percentage buff in this team. Most of the buffs are elemental mastery, so Slingshot has high chance of winning this round too. And let's see how this went. Starting with Zhongli's shield, Nahida's skill, Nahida's burst, Yemika's totems, Tighnari's skill, Tighnari's burst, starting charge of 44,000, another 44, and again boss is done. This boss is too weak for us. But anyways, let's calculate Tighnari's damage per rotation. Burst damage for Scion was 156k and 160 for Slingshot. First charge shot HT 3000 for Scion and HT 7 for Slingshot. All three charge shot would be 250h for Scion and 262 for Slingshot. And total damage for Scion 414 and for the Slingshot 422. And Slingshot is winning again, and right now damage difference is higher. Yes, for some reason this 3-star bow is just broken on Tighnari. Round 4. Multiple target scenario. And first I thought there is no reason to test Scion against Slingshot against multiple targets, because Scion doesn't have any advantages in multiple targets, and this weapon was already losing in single target scenario. And unfortunately right now we don't have any real multiple target fights in floor 12 of Spiral Abyss. Except Chamber 1 second half, but here we need Hydra to fight Spiral Abyss mages, and most of the time you don't want to use Hydra in Tighnari's team. But anyways, I've tried these weapons on the Chamber 2 first half, and the result was really surprising for me. First I went with Scion, and without any problems I finished with 40 seconds. Then I went with Slingshot, and problem starts to appear. No matter what I've done, I was finishing in 42 seconds, which is 2 seconds higher than the Scion result. And I don't understand why is this happening. But with many retries I finally managed to make 40-second result. But then I looked on the blessing on the Spiral Abyss and everything became clear. Right now we have up to 60 elemental damage bonus buff, and all percentage damage bonus in this game are the same multiplier. And because of this we are getting diminishing returns on the Slingshot buff, and higher base attack became more valuable. And in this particular Spiral Abyss, with this blessing, Scion is performing better than Slingshot. So Scion of Blazing Sound are winning 4th round. Conclusion. And right now I have kinda mixed feelings about everything that just happened. We have tie, 2 wins on Scion, 2 wins on Slingshot. I was kinda disappointed in single target performance of Scion, but I was surprised in Spiral Abyss performance of Scion. But right now my Scion is only refinement 1, and of course on higher refinements this weapon will outperform Slingshot. And another thing that I want to mention, when Slingshot was winning it was only couple thousands of damage, and percentage wise it's only around 2% of damage. And answer for the question, is Scion of Blazing Sun better than Slingshot? I don't think so. On refinement 1, that's important. I think they're equal and the result was fair. So we have a tie. And thank you for the watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.